Remember, guys, I'm fair, but I'm firm. Touch him up. Good luck.
Who the fuck is Larry Flowers?
I'm gonna trade this life for fortune and fame. I'll even cut my hair and change my name. Cause we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in.
Fellas, we are back. A big episode, very special episode. This one means a lot to me. We've got an incredible and special guest on. Someone I've admired, looked up to for a long, long time. One of my best friends in the world, someone that I truly, truly look up to. Former NHLer, 10-year veteran in the NHL, and an Iron Man. Eric Nystrom, my boy. I know, yeah, it's good to have Eric. We don't even have to like bullshit. Let's just do this like the way we'd be talking about.
That was. I appreciate the intro, buddy. Very, very nice of you. Very kind.
I love you, man. I really do look up to you. I really do. Let me just jump in real quick. You know who you are. I've said this for a long time. People that don't know, there are some people out there that can kind of do everything really well. You're one of those guys. I call you a Renaissance man.
I'm a great actor.
You're a Renaissance man.
Faking it until you make it.
Bullshit.
I'm the definition.
You know, I'm going to give you the floor just for a second because there's a lot I want to talk to you about you to the listeners. But yeah. So what's up, man?
Just hanging, buddy. Just got a couple of my old neighbors in town from up in Michigan coming in for a visit, catching a little sunshine. You know, it's a popular destination. It was nice having you in town not too long ago hanging out.
Tell everybody where you're at.
I'm right outside West Palm Beach, Wellington, Florida.
Living
on the lake. Say that, buddy.
Horse country.
Got a little lake in the back. Doing a lot of fishing lately. It's a great spot. Not gonna lie.
No, it was great when I got a chance to come down and visit you a couple weeks ago and see the kids. The kids are getting big and they're incredible.
So I'll tell you what else. Larry paid for the tickets to the zoo.
I know it stung. I figured I'd get a big fat dinner out of it from you, but that didn't happen.
What are you talking about, buddy? Double cut pork chops, bud. On point.
Let's talk about your cooking, man. I mean, you're a legit. Listen, you are a legit cook. We've gone over this for years now. You've mastered your craft. You like to use the egg. You love to smoke your meat. Don't hey, take it easy. Don't get all crazy, listeners out there. This is a PG-13 podcast. But no, you've really mastered the art of cooking really good steaks and smoking it and using special seasoning and that goes outside just meats now. I mean, you were growing your own vegetables and had a beautiful little garden. Tell us about that. I think to me, listen, my mom was a green thumbs and she loved to garden and grow vegetables and cook. And so I was raised around that and she looks up to you too. I mean, we talk about you all the time when we look at your Nystrom meat.
I love your mom. I love your mom, Larry.
Easy.
No, great lady. But honestly, man, that was a lot of fun. When I was done playing, lived in Michigan, we had a great setup there. Pretty, I had all the time in the world to get the vegetable garden going and mess around with the cooking and all that stuff. But now moved down to Florida, things get a little more expensive. I had to enter the workforce. Got 2 kids now that are taking up the time. So the only thing that's growing are the kids, man. I'm not growing any more vegetables.
They're growing fast too, and they're getting tougher by the day. They're incredible. They're incredible kids. Looks like we're gonna have a couple athletes on our hand, which is very exciting.
It's the best, man. We got the net in the garage, snapping pucks all day long. I got a couple targets in the top corners right now. A couple months, I would say maybe 2 months ago, Tristan, my oldest, he could barely lift the puck. Now he's like snapping it in there. Got the corners in the top. I got 2 targets in the top corners. I said, listen, if you hit one of these 2 targets, no matter what time of day, we're going directly to Carvel. You get an ice cream cake and you can eat the entire thing. And that's a rolling bet until the minute you hit that. So this
wow,
kid's like,
that's pretty
oh, like
cool.
the first couple days after bed, he's like crying every day because I'm never gonna hit it. Like I want ice cream. But now, like he's like snapping it in there, so I'm a little worried. But the bet's on the table, man. So I'm like, dude, I want to take you to Carvel and get that ice cream cake. Let's go.
You know what, man? That's real. That really is special. I love those stories. I'm a big guy. You know, I love kids and the stories and some of the ways that kids have come up learning from their fathers. You're an incredible dad. Is that kind of a trick that you learned from your old man? Because I've made for those of you listening out there that don't know, Eric is the son of former NHLer Bob Nystrom, real thorn in the side of the 70s Broad Street Bullies, Philadelphia Flyers. Scored the game-winning goal, Game 7, overtime against the Philadelphia Flyers.
Game six,
to beat the Philadelphia Flyers and to start their 4-in-a-row run of winning Stanley Cups in the NHL. So he's a bit of a legend. His name's hanging up in the rafters there in the Coliseum in Long Island. So that's kind of a big deal. But
no, just to jump in there, like great story about like how much I realized that my dad was hated in the city of Philadelphia.
Oh, they hate him.
Oh, hated.
Tough guy, though. Tough guy, folks.
I carry on my phone a picture of the goal clearly onside because I have to talk to so many Flyer fans who are talking out of their asses, who think they know it was the other goal, the drop pass. I think it was Dwayne Sutter. The drop pass went across the blue line, clearly offside. Pass to Sutter. That was the offside goal that the ref missed, not the Bobby Nystrom goal. Anyway, I keep it on my phone for my sister lives in Philly. Yeah. So every time I come across a Philly fan, I just say, here's the evidence. Anyway, the first time I really knew how much Bob Nystrom was hated in Philly, I was a kid. They were having the All-Star game at the Spectrum, and they had a Heroes of Hockey like Legends game before it. So, like, they're announcing the starting lineup. What year
was this? I remember this.
Yeah. I can't remember what year it was.
We were young, obviously.
Oh, yeah. We were young.
I remember. I mean, there's only so many times an All-Star game comes to your city.
Yeah, exactly. At the old Spectrum. And, like I was an innocent little kid.
Blood on the walls in the Spectrum.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And then as soon as they announced the lineups, they announced Bob's name, the whole barn just goes, boo. I was like, oh, they don't like this guy, man. But that's when I really realized that they do not like Bob Nystrom.
They really don't.
Philly.
You know what, man? You want to know something? When you're that disliked in the city of Philadelphia, it generally means that you've done something really, really well in your career. Oh, yeah, and that's something you tip your cap to.
Oh, and man, I think of all like the old fight tapes of him, like Mel Bridgman. If you go on YouTube and watch him and Mel Bridgman have this scrap, man, just punching each other's heads off, just in the pure passion of the game, old school hockey. Like that was when men were men.
Listen, for those of you who don't know what Bob Nystrom looks like, how old is he now?
I think he basically looks like, he's a little bit more gray in the beard. He's a lot better shape than I am. That's for sure. 71,
how old is he?
71, 72, 71 or 72?
71, 72. The guy looks about 50. The guy looks like if you try to punch him in his face, you'll probably break your hand. Big hands, fit as can be.
Oh, yeah.
Can probably jump in the league right now and go.
Oh, he would tune us up. He would tune us up at the same time.
Oh yeah, no. Every time I'm around Bob, I'm a little bit extra nice. I don't pick on him like I pick on you. But that said, listen, he was a tough guy in the league, and he made his mark in the NHL, and his numbers retired in Long Island, which it will be like that forever, which is an incredible accomplishment. But then to have his son come up and not only make it to the NHL, but be the captain of the U.S. under-18 national team, captain of University of Michigan, 4-year student at Michigan and player at Michigan, and then make it to the NHL, first rounder, 10th overall. I mean, incredible accomplishments. I mean, he must be real proud, man.
I honestly, like we were talking about, the little just rubbing off on my own son and giving him the advice that, similar to what my dad said. I honestly wish I would have listened to him more, but it's just natural instinct to not want to listen to your dad. And I was secretly listening, and it's the same type of thing, but you know, that he had so many little tips and tricks and ideas, and like I would never admit it to him, and there were certain things that I wish I had listened to a little bit more. You know, he did it all, had all the experience in the world, but you know, I'm
Well, I
trying
mean,
to figure out.
yeah, kids always think they know more than everybody else. They think they know more
Oh,
than their parents. I mean, but there's also there's the idea that times change, and things are not the same as when they were coming up, and we think we know everything, and we really don't. And now you're going to get a little taste of your own medicine with Tristan for now.
it's already happening. But here's the thing: like, I'll tell him something, and he'll be like pretending like he's ignoring me, and then like I'll like leave the room, and then I'll like peek around the corner, and he's like practicing what I'm telling him, but he'll
That's
never admit it.
unreal. That is,
But no,
that's
it's a lot
great.
of fun. Like, I've been coaching the kids on the weekends and going out on the ice. I've actually been, going out and sticking puck and putting on the full gear with him. Whenever there's like a little lunch hockey, and I actually started skating in like a 7 a.m. league with some older guys and getting back into it, all because Tristan's around the rink, and it's met some great families. It's been a lot of fun, and watching him improve already. And then I got the other one in the pipeline just coming up, the 2-year-old, who's an absolute savage. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
You're about to enter the golden years of fatherhood, and it's very, very exciting. The kids are incredible. Listen, there's just nothing like, and hey, I look forward and I pray and I hope that I get the opportunity to have kids that I can one day put into hockey. But just to be able to go,
you probably got one flying around out there somewhere, but come on.
I mean, one. That's it. I mean, come on. So far hasn't cost me anything, so I'm not too worried about it.
Dude, 23 and me, do not be spitting in the cup or whatever.
No, I don't do that thing. I don't do that. I don't want to know. No, to be able to bring your kids to the rink and to be involved in the hockey community, I always said is one of the greatest things that's ever happened in my life. It changed my life. And, I'm not even, I didn't make NHL. Wasn't anything special. I was a pretty good player, but just to be able to be around the rink, and my mom would drop me off at 3-4 o'clock or at 3-4 years old and just let me skate for hours. And some of my best friends are people I was playing hockey with since, 8-9 years old to this day. And, to be able to kind of be the dad, to bring your kids to that environment and to bring them up in that world that you grew up in, and to teach them what you learn from your dad and the things that you've learned from the game is just there's nothing like the hockey community, the hockey world, hockey parents. Actually, probably the only thing better than a hockey dad.
The parents are, some of them are like, okay, their kids are 5, talking about what draft class they're in.
That's the only problem. That's the only problem. Yeah, the only problem is you have some hockey dads who think every one of their kids are going to the show and it's this, and they're going to go play here. And the kid's like, oh, well, really? How old's your kid? He's 8. Really?
Yeah.
Like,
should we get
let him learn how to wipe his ass first.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but there's one thing better. I got to say this. I got to say this. Shout out to my mother. There's only one thing in the world better than a hockey dad, and that's a hockey mom. They are the true warriors of the youth hockey community, getting up early, getting you dressed, feeding you, getting on those 4 or 5 o'clock car rides to go to play a game at 6 a.m. Shout out to hockey moms. You are the very best. And now you got Chelsea, who's a hockey mom.
Oh, she's so into it.
Tell us about Chelsea a little bit. I got a story, of course, but I want you to tell the listeners about Chelsea a little bit. I love her to death. She's part of my family. Good Canadian gal, loves the game, and she's right on. She's on track to be a legendary hockey mom. Love her to death.
She went from 2 W's. She went from Winnipeg to West Palm Beach. I think she won that. She won that trade. But she's totally into the hockey. She, being from Canada, it was just part of the culture. But it wasn't like she would expect how much she's loving taking the kids to the rink and the families that we met so far, and seeing how Tristan's improving and getting Nika on the ice. And then at their skating lessons, we can take them. They have like 30 minutes where they skate with like a big group of kids. And then at the end, the parents can come on for the last 15 minutes. So she throws on the rental figure skates out there looking like Bambi, dude. Should be wearing a helmet. But no, she's totally into it. Larry, go tell your story. Larry's not going to pass up an opportunity.
I'll stay in the box.
He's not going to pass up an opportunity to take some credit. So tell your story.
I like to take credit where credit is due. That's the kind of guy I am. Listen. So let me just, The season ends. You're playing for, I believe at the time you're playing. Are you in You're in Dallas or Nashville?
Was I in Dallas? I think it was Nashville. I think it was my first season
I
in
think it was your
Nashville.
first year in Nashville. Yeah. So you played in the NHL 10 years. Calgary, Dallas, Nashville,
Minnesota, but we can just
Minnesota. Yeah.
That
But
season sucked.
anyway, so season ends. You come right out to Los Angeles. You'd been coming out to LA.
It was the first day after the season.
Yeah, no, I know. You come right out to California, and real excited to have you. Me and you, I book a nice little table over at Warwick. Thanks a lot for that credit card, Bobby Nye. Book a little table at Warwick, and it's just me and you, solo mish, nothing crazy, not a crazy night, just me and you catching up like good old times. It was great. We sat down, we got a little bottle, and we had a good night. And then around 1:50, they're starting to kick everybody out, and we go out, and there's this one beautiful girl, and we're all looking, and you're like, damn, that girl, she's so pretty. I'm like, I know, go say hi, but you don't have Larry Flowers game. So, I mean, you're a little shy. And that's okay. And so I figured I have to jump in here and help my boy. So I run over to her and I grab her right when she's about to get in the car. I say, hey, listen, you got to go meet my friend over there. She's like, nah, I'm good. I got to go. I'm late or whatever. And I said, listen, you should meet my friend. He's a great guy. Trust me. He's like, she says, okay, all right, great. Yeah, they swap numbers or they get Instagrams. I don't remember what they did. But and then you guys happened to
that she was from the Peg.
Yeah, she was from the Peg, and you guys traded info, and then you guys, I think, randomly ended up on the same flight going or coming from Vegas, and you guys started talking.
The stars aligned. The
stars aligned, and sparks.
Here we are today.
Here you are today.
Thanks to Larry Flowers with the assist.
I am a matchmaker. You know what I am? I'm a great wingman, but in this case, we ended up with an amazing, amazing wife for yourself, who's the mother of two incredible kids and, part of my family now. So it's an incredible story, and I like to tell it, and I'm very proud of it.
Listen, I don't know if she's not like, so thrilled that you're a part of the family.
No, I know, but I'm like that. I'm like that uncle you can't get rid of. Like, that's just the way it is. I come over first thing. I'm like, hey, where's the food? Chelsea, I'm hungry. Like, shoes are still on. But that's I'm like the Kramer of your house, right?
Buddy, let's just talk hockey for 1 second. I don't watch much, but I wanted Matthews to get that 70th last night, man.
I know.
We had that one little stuff play I saw in the highlights. Dude, 70. I had 75 my whole career.
It's insane, right? It's and it's harder to shoot it. It's harder to score today than it's ever been. These goalies are so good. Players they're really paid to block shots. It's just hard to score in today's NHL, and the way he snaps it around is just he's a what's the word?
Generational.
He's a generational type of shooter player.
I know the word you're looking for, but I don't know it either, so I can't.
I know. I've been hitting the head a lot. No, but it would have been incredible. But listen, I mean, also to see Connor McDavid get 100 apples. I mean, what's harder to do in your opinion? In your opinion as a former NHLer, what's harder to do?
To put that puck in the net 69 times in a season, man, like against those goalies. Yeah, 100 apples, of course, for sure. And he's just like dishing to everybody, making everybody look good. But to put that thing in the net against the goalies of today that many times in a season is unbelievable.
It really, really is unbelievable. There was all those rumors going around that Scottsdale was going to build a barn there to try to keep the Coyotes, and now they're leaving for Utah, which is a little disappointing because you'd think that when Matthews deals up and this new barn is built, maybe he transitions and goes over to Phoenix or Scottsdale, which would be like the new Nashville of the NHL, right? Which would have been really special because he obviously is from there.
Is that confirmed though? Are they gone? Is that happening?
I think they're gone. Yeah, they're going to Utah next year for sure. I don't know what the hell's going to happen. I don't know what's going on with that organization. There was rumors,
there's only so much, there's only so much time you can let that toil. Like, okay, yeah, they can do a new arena, this, that, and the other, but dude, it's been going for however long.
I get it, but I don't know what I don't know why the mayor of Scottsdale or some people in Scottsdale do a little bit of pushback on this. I think if you have a barn in Scottsdale, I think it only improves the community. I think things just Nashville is the perfect model. You played in Nashville.
Well, they've had the rink in the
Nystrom,
right location.
that's what I mean. It's
the
a location. It's like
was
anything.
out in the bush.
Any business is location, right? So Nashville is proof. They built Bridgestone right on Broadway. It's a huge success. They're packed every night. And Scottsdale Coyotes can do the same thing. I mean, Coyotes
they could for sure, but it's just the clocks run out. The money, the players are losing out on money from that arena being empty.
Yeah,
the league's losing money. It's how long has the team been in existence? And trust me, even when they had that old the barn out in the middle of nowhere, when they would do like a promotional night or something, it was packed. It was a good crowd. But at this point, I think like it's kind of ran its course, and I think there needs to be a new opportunity there.
Yeah, no, you're right. And if it's meant to be, and maybe and they do end up building a rink, an arena in Scottsdale, then maybe it's a new team will form in Scottsdale, and it'll be big time business. I can't have a conversation with you and not talk about something. One of my no, it's hockey related. It's just something that I've watched you play for a long, long time, and you were a good player. Not super skilled, but a really tough, hardworking type player, leader type player.
Grinding it out there, just grinding it.
No, you need those guys. You need those guys, and you had some really good years, and you were on some really good teams. But there's one thing about certain guys that are willing to put their lives on the line like you and drop the mitts and fight not only tough guys, but really tough guys and bigger guys. And you were always that guy, Bob. I know. No. I mean, listen, hey, Shane O'Brien once told me, if you're not losing fights, you're not fighting the right guys. If you're never losing, you're not fighting the right guys. And you've got some big L's and you've taken some big shots, but you fought some of the toughest. And that's you got a lot of respect from a lot of people. And every time I watch you play and you would drop the mitts, man, you had me on the jumping in the air and going crazy because you would sit in the pocket and just absolutely chuck. Like tell us a little bit, about your days in the NHL when you were dropping the mitts and what that's really like.
I was just a competitive guy. I wanted to win. I could just sense when the team needed something, or I'd just be in the heat of the moment and just do what I had to do. Especially when I was coming into the league, I was like, you know what? At this point, like I got to do something to make a difference that's going to make me stand out. And that's kind of how the door opened a little bit, just adding that element to my game. But I don't care who you are, man. If you catch one on the button, you're going down, man.
Totally.
I don't miss that part of it. But there was some great scraps against some tough guys. Took some losses, had some wins, but at the end of the day, you're just trying to help the team in any way you can. Sometimes there'd be a scrap that would you'd be down 2-0. You have a scrap. Next thing you know, the team wins 3-2. Like that really does happen.
No, so, you've always obviously your dad's got a big part of it, reason for it, but you've always, in my opinion, your game, your mentality has had a little bit of an old school, feel to it. Just the things that you did, like you just said, like in specific moments and dropping the mitts where you thought it really helped the team. Like I always loved watching you play. Obviously we were friends, but it was just, I always found that you played really, really hard. You played the right way. You were an honest player. And also let's talk about something fun here. You did something that very few NHL players have ever done in their careers. And I don't mean pretty good players. I mean like legends in the history of the NHL. And I watched that game. Tell us about the game where you didn't put 1 or 2 or even 3 pucks in the net, but 4.
Well, speaking of O'Brien, speaking of O'Brien, I think they were matching us against him that night. And I think after
that explains it.
I don't think he got another shift after that. But
that explains it.
Honestly, like if you didn't believe in God before that game, you certainly did after, man. Because, but no lie, going into warmups, I was like, this stick feels good, man. Like I was like snapping. I was like, man, my legs are jumping. I was like, I just had like in warmups, I felt like I just felt good. And just everything aligned. And I scored 4 in that game, but I'm telling you, I had a couple other chances.
Oh, I know.
Like I had a couple other good chances, and then I got benched in overtime.
Oh my God, that's right.
No, that's the whole backstory. And we lost 5-4.
Right.
Like,
yes.
How can Eric Nystrom score 4 goals in a game and then the team loses? Like, couldn't one of the boys, like on the power play, the first line, like get one for me that night?
No,
but that
that's
like
so
epitomized
funny.
my career,
You were in Dallas, right? You were playing in Dallas.
No, Nashville versus Calgary.
That's it. Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. But I remember watching the game, and then I started going crazy because I'm like, you're not. He's not coming out in OT. He's got 4 goals. Like, ride the hot hand. I mean, at this point, who gives a shit?
Oh, don't get me wrong. Like, I knew, I was like, okay, OT. I'm never gonna play. But in that game, I could have had a righty stick holding it upside down with the butt end on the ice and like toe dragged and put it cheese somehow. Like, it was just one of those games. But
no,
you know what? I'll still never understand that. Like, throw me out there.
Totally. No, it was really, really cool to watch.
That was like that was like half my goal total that year, or something like that.
I know. I think you had what? I think you had like 16 that year, or something like that.
15, 4 in one game. That helps. And then the funny thing too is like, I was like, this is gonna be great for the season. I'm feeling confident. I was like really feeling good. Go get to Edmonton the next day, and I get like the flu, and I'm feeling awful. So I'm like, I don't know if I can even play tonight. So I dress for the game. First 2 shifts, -2, leave the game. I was like, that is the other thing that epitomized career. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna feel it. Like, I got the confidence. Boom, flu, -2.
The real Nystrom is back.
There he is.
Tell the listeners one great story about your youth hockey, whether it be with the national team or University of Michigan. I mean, 2 incredible honors to be able to wear the seal on both of those teams. When I was young, I looked at Michigan as like the god of college hockey. Like, tough break, by the way, this weekend, the Frozen Four with your boys, Michigan, but they ran into a tough BC team. But tell us a good story about either one of those teams, and something that you remember that will stay with you forever.
No, I'll tell you, no matter what, when somebody asks me like the best part of my career, I always say college. Yost Ice Arena in Michigan. It's just like, I compare it to like Cameron Fieldhouse of Duke basketball. It's like the college hockey version. It's, just playing in that building. There's nothing like it. Playing for Red Berenson, like a storied, like your textbook college coach that's like, you got that old school mentality. You're not allowed to break eye contact with him when you're talking to him, like searing through the back of your brain, like into your soul, eye contact, like just a man's man. Like, just to play for that guy, you'd want to go through a wall after one of his speeches before the game. Like, so it was just, to me, it was just the best experience. My first college game ever, freshman year, the Cold War outdoor game versus Michigan State, 75,000 people. Never even played a game.
Started it all.
That was the first game of my entire college career. We had 10 freshmen that year, or 11 freshmen.
Way.
Yeah.
That was your first game.
That was the first game.
That started all. That was the first big outdoor game.
That was the OG outdoor game, and it was early October. It could have been like 80 degrees that day, but it ended up working out perfectly. They had some great players on the team. It ended up being a tie. They scored a late one on us with like a minute left. Goalie pulled, I think, to tie the game. But that was pretty sick. And then went to a couple Frozen Fours. Both of those years, we hosted the regional at Yost Ice Arena before they went neutral site. So both years we were like the 4 seed playing against the 1 seed. And we ended up going to the Frozen Four 2 years in a row. I've never heard a building louder than Yost Ice Arena. I thought the roof was going to explode. It was after the second year that we went to the Frozen Four, they switched it to neutral sites. That was the legit reason why they moved it, because it
was too unfair.
Yeah, it was too unfair.
Wow.
But now these regional site games, they suck. You go into like Van Andel Arena in Grand Rapids, or like Manchester, New Hampshire. These barns suck. And then here's the other problem with while I'm still going on the Frozen Four. The day, like they paint the ice the day before the game or 2 days before. So the quality of the ice is absolute shit. And I don't know why they do it. Like they would have such a better quality of game if they just, I don't know, maybe just like repainted the center logo or something, but they take the ice out and repaint it right before the game. And every time when we went to the Frozen Four, I was like, you got some super skilled players, and this ice is dog shit.
Wow.
That was one thing I always had that I could complain about. But anyway, playing in Michigan, there was nothing better than that experience and the camaraderie with the guys on the team, and it was just being in college.
Yeah, I went to my first University of Michigan game with you a few years back. I think they were playing Michigan State, one of their rivals, their main rivals, right? It was just I had a moment because when I was young, I used to just Michigan was everything to me in the college hockey world. Like I just thought it was like what people think that are like football gods. They think what Notre Dame is, right? To me, it was Michigan.
Pardon me? Not Michigan football, but all-time winningest program.
No, take it easy. Let's take it easy there. I'm a Penn State guy. I'm never going to give Michigan football those type of props. Like, take it easy, will you? But when I walked into Yost Arena, I was like, wow, like I had that moment. We went to a Michigan football game too, with the night game, which was incredible against Indiana. That was an amazing thing. We walked through the tunnel. You got us down through the tunnel on the field, like
Larry Flowers treatment, red carpet, roll it out on the field.
I deserve it, but that was amazing. I mean, I really, really was in awe. But when I walked into Yost, it was a little different. I had that feeling that you probably only get a handful of times in your life when you walk into somewhere special that you've always like thought or dreamt of going when you're young. And that's what I had when I walked into Yost, and to watch the game and to see the crowd and to see how the student section does their chants. I mean, they are intense, beautiful arena, very, very special moment that I got to share with you. I mean, it really did mean a lot to me, probably more to me than you even realize, because I wanted to go there forever since I was just a little kid. So just really cool.
It used to be grimier, but then they did some renovations on it. I told them that they made it too nice. It used to be like,
I don't think
a little bit more of a dungeon.
Yeah, you got to stay up with the times a little bit. I mean, the old school's nice, but eventually you got to update things. You got to compete with Penn State's hockey.
I mean, it's from 1928 or something, like 1920, that barn. So, it's got a long history, but what a building.
No, totally. So let's, last thing here, tell the listeners a little bit about what you're doing now, like what you're trying to do, other than obviously raise an incredible family, like with work, and talk a little about, real estate. You're big in real estate. We talk a lot about it. I know that sometimes you feel like you're talking in one of my ears and out the other one of my ears. You just have a really good understanding of this real estate world now, and it's an incredible thing to understand and to learn. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm big in it, but it's definitely a passion.
You're good. You're big. No.
Guys. So just started with some Airbnbs. One of my old teammates got me involved with it. He just basically, when I was playing in Nashville, he's like, "Hey, you want to partner on an Airbnb?" I had no idea. Was making a good salary, so I was like, "Let's just do it." We split a condo, Airbnb'd it out right outside of a rooftop view overlooking Nashville. We just sold that one. I think we owned it for about 5 years, and we just sold it and made a killing. But it was just basically, that was a moment that I got hooked when we first bought it. Just understanding everything about it, the taxes, the cash flow, and just finding real estate deals. Bought another one after that, then bought a couple out in California, and never looked back, but just learning about the game. So we just sold a couple in Nashville, met up with the guys, met up with the team out there that are doing some really, really great things. Building, I got 6 new builds going out there, single family homes, just trying to, just build up the game and pass it on to the kids and give them something that they can hold on to and help the family that way. I'm working in cybersecurity also. So I'm just, trying to stay busy, sink my teeth into something new as well. Sales position. I don't understand what the hell these people are talking about, but we got a couple other former hockey players that are on the sales team. We only have like 10 people on the team. So we have a blast, same principles as hockey, just grinding it out, like just persevering, meeting people, making relationships. When you're done playing hockey, you have so much life ahead of you. You can't just sit around. Yeah,
No.
there's some guys who've made enough money to just sit back and not have to worry about anything, but you got to continue to grow. You got to continue to move forward, and that's just the mindset I went back to school when I was done playing, did a master's degree. Like, I just want to better myself. And, hockey was one part of my life. I got a long life ahead of me and just trying to figure out, how I could do fun things that I enjoy myself with and be successful at it. That's kind of it.
Like I said, Renaissance man, you really, really, really are a Renaissance man. You are so good at so many things. You work really hard. No, you work really, really hard at all of your crafts. I don't care if it's gardening or cooking or real estate. Like, I've watched you grow outside of hockey.
The DJ turntables.
Oh my! We didn't even talk about
man.
that. Oh, we didn't even talk about that.
Nah, there's no time for that anymore. The kids do. Those things are retired.
I know. Well, just for a quick backstory, we love good house music, and he bought a whole DJ equipment set, and anybody can just mix a couple songs. But Eric here was creating songs, and they were all so good, legit. Like, I mean, you really are. The point is, everything you do, you work really hard at it. That's how you're built. You're someone that I've always truly, truly looked up to. You're a big part of my life. You're one of my brothers. You're one of my best friends in the world. I love you to death. I appreciate you coming on the podcast, Bobby.
Buddy.
Well, we call you Bobby and I people, but it's Eric, obviously.
No, buddy, I'm proud of you and where you've come and seeing you grow as well and grow your business and play to your strengths and using your personality to network and just, create the friendships that you've had and the success that you've had. You come a long way and I couldn't be more proud to see that. And we love having you come visit, buddy. And
I appreciate
being close to you. Miss those summers in California. Create nightclub, buddy.
Oh man, those are good days. But I have a lot of family down South Florida, so I'll obviously be coming down there to visit you for the rest of my life, as long as you're down there. And hopefully you come out and visit your sister down the shore.
I usually tell my friends that the door is always open, but mine's definitely locked. You have to knock, and we might let you in.
Come down the shore. Try to come down the shore with your sister.
We're looking
your sister's down the Jersey Shore. I'm down the Jersey Shore in the summer. We'd love to have you. Eric, love you, brother. I appreciate you coming on. It means a lot.
Thanks for having me.
We'll talk soon.
Later, buddy.